Good morning, one and all, and welcome to this morning's video. So this morning I just have the one pair on watch. As you can see, that is pound dollar, and I have flipped my bias on this. I've said in previous videos that trading is not about being right. It's about adjusting your sales as the wind changes direction. Okay, so I'm just seeing pound dollar slightly differently now, and I shall explain as we go through, in particularly on the lower time frames, why I have flipped my bias on this. But the way I'm seeing it at this moment in time is, yes, we do have this gap here that I was previously talking about to this low, but these don't necessarily have to be filled straight away. And if the market has given us a message, then that message might be that we're moving higher, potentially into, for example, here or into here, before we then move to the downside to take out the low that we near missed too. Okay. So as I'm seeing it at this moment in time, okay, is we have this confirmed morning star formation, okay, which is tapped below here, okay. So the big institutions, the bigger players might be seeing this as, okay, we've moved from an area of value. A lot of the times when we break below, this represents discounted prices for many of the bigger players. So have we tapped into anything? Yes, we've tapped into that. We have the confirmed morning star formation. And if you look at what price is doing at the minute, of course, this weekly candle has not closed yet, but we're kind of stalling at the moment. So this could be an impulse correction continuation to push higher to tap into one of these two areas here, which I've got marked up with these ray lines. Okay. So if we just drill down slightly on the daily chart, you can see, so this is not typical. So there is a little inflection point here on the 4-hour chart, but this is not typically how we would respond to an area on the left. If you look at what's happened, this is not typically how we respond. And we do have this low test candle, this bullish low test candle, okay, which may imply that this is an impulse correction continuation to push higher, okay. So the next question I ask myself before I even drill down, if you look, there's big wicks below all of these candles, okay? Big wick below there, big wick below there, big wick below this one. Okay, this is not at this moment in time implying, a move to the downside, okay? And do we have any other reasons to come to the upside? Well, we do, because we left a gap here to this high, okay? And if we just look here, and when we extend that out, we also have a gap here. This high failed to retest the back end of this. And if we just measure so where we failed to retest the back end of that, if we just measure, okay, this overall move, that would represent, that area there would represent a pullback of around 50%, which would be a healthy pullback for a move down to there. So potentially we could be pulling back all the way up to here to tap into the back end of this, where there was a lot of volume, retest the back end of that, then we get a 50% pullback of this overall move, and then perhaps we move to the downside from there to take out this low, which this low near missed too. Okay, so just analyzing some of these things not on the fly. I did do this last night, but just breaking them down for you. And what else do we have? Before I've even drilled down to the 1-hour chart, we also have, okay, we have an area of consolidation here, which we've tapped into by way of a 1, 2, 3 reversal structure. Okay, so where we have, as you will have seen before, as a in the way that I've broke these videos down, that we have the low there, we have the second low which breaks below the first but fails to tap into the area of consolidation, and then we have the third touch which gives us that reversal structure, which within it has a middle section before we then move up aggressively. Okay, what I'm going to be looking for here is the fact that I'm going to be looking for a break above here, specifically because where we're correcting here, I wouldn't be able to manage it to this high, just in case this is an impulse correction continuation to push lower. Okay, I wouldn't have much room until this kind of sharp area of volume there to get my risk off the table. So what I'm going to be looking for, so we have the daily, the low test candle there on the daily. We have momentum there on the 4-hour. We have a solid rejection from that area of value. You can see that the area that we responded from by way of the reversal structure is sharp. Okay, we have the sharp move there, implying liquidity. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for a break above this area of interest as I got it marked, and then a correction afterwards. In this instance, I'm going to be looking for a 15-minute continuation. So 6 to 8 corrective 15-minute candles. And then if it's a non-structured 15-minute continuation on the 15, okay, if it's structured on the 5-minute chart, then I will look for a 5-minute risk entry within it. Okay, if the structure is not clear on the 15-minute chart, but we have the 6 to 8 corrective 15-minute candles, or I'll look to get long on the break. If it's a tight structured 15-minute if it's a tight structured 15-minute continuation, so the 6 to 8 corrective candles are displaying a structure which I can see on the 15-minute chart, then my risk entry within the structure, if I was to get long within it, would be taken on the 15-minute chart by way of a low test or a retrace candle within here. But if I just get long on the break, then I would still have about 2% to work with until up to the start of this structure. And then in this instance, my target would be up here, okay, for something in the region of 6%, because even if we do keep going to the next high that I was talking about that failed to retest the back end of that, we still have quite a lot of volume here, which price might not necessarily reverse from, but might stall in that area for a period of time. So rather than sit through all of that, I can just take my profit and move on. Okay. And one of the reasons, just to touch on it, I put this on watch over pound over euro dollar is if we just compare these side by side. Okay, let's put the right ticker code in. Okay, is that on this one, if we just look at one of the reasons I chose this one is because if you just look at the daily, okay, the daily close yesterday was bearish. Okay, it was a low test, but it was bearish. And then on the 4-hour chart, we also had this bearish 4-hour candle there. Whereas with pound dollar, you can see that the same 4-hour candle was bullish. Okay, a little bit more bullish, and so was. We just move this out of the way. So was the daily close as well. Okay, so that gave me more reason to think that we may this might commit before euro dollar, as did the fact that we have this sharp move just below. Okay, we don't really have that reversal structure so much. Okay, with pound dollar, there's a clear reversal structure, whereas with this, we might actually be forming a reversal structure. Okay, where we tap into that low before committing, because we have that sharp area of volume there, where this is not as sharp. Okay, you notice that is not as sharp as what happened with this sharp move here. Okay, and we have that clear reversal structure. So that was just my filtering. That is my video. I shall try and keep these videos a little shorter as and where I can. But that's what I'm going to be looking for. I have an alert set just below the area of interest. If this does not trigger, I'm not going to check this pair. The rest of the pairs look like they need a little bit more development. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.